Hi, good morning. My name is Linda Cavalier, and I head up the marketing group at Camrose. And I know I've met lots of you, but I'm looking forward to meeting those of you who I've not met before. I just wanted to give you a brief look at who Camrose is, for those of you who don't know us yet. We're a science-led pharmaceutical company, really committed to developing innovative long-acting medicines. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how in a few minutes. We're based in Lund, Sweden. I've never been, but I'm about to go in a few weeks, so I'm super excited to be there for the first time. We were founded in 1991, and then my boss actually opened this U.S. subsidiary in 2024, and we're based in Princeton, New Jersey. So for those of you who don't know where that is, it's sort of between New York City and Philly. So we have our offices in the U.S. there. And, we're really committed to conducting our business in a sustainable manner. We try to develop our business with minimal impact on the environment and really placing patients at the center of everything that we do. So we have a unique technology called the fluid crystal technology. If you want to stop by our table later, we can tell you lots more about it, but it's a unique technology in that and it allows us to take small molecules and develop them into long-acting medicines. And this fluid crystal technology it really sits at the core of everything that we do. All our products that are in development use this fluid crystal technology. And as you can see, we have a number of things in our pipeline, but our lead product is CAM 2029 with a lead indication in acromegaly, which is why we're here to talk to all of you. And we will also look forward to approval with an indication in gastroenteropancreatic neuroendocrine tumors, or GEP-NET, and polycystic liver disease as well. Just to tell you a little bit about our fluid crystal technology, as I mentioned, we take small molecule products and we are able to turn them into long-acting medicines. And this really, the technology is really designed for patient centricity because it allows for easy and convenient administration. You can see that we can put products into this auto injector, which is a small volume and small needle hidden in the auto injector. I'm sure many of you are familiar and have used them before with other products. And it also allows us to create products that don't require refrigeration, don't require reconstitution. And so hopefully really thinking about the convenience of patients and making your lives easier. As I mentioned, it's an auto injector. And also with this new formulation, we're able to design a product that has rapid onset and long-acting release. And so far in our clinical trials, which you can see, we have copies outside for you if you would like to read more about it, but it also allowed for us to have 5 times bioavailability of the medication. So we are not yet available, but we are looking forward to hopefully having this medicine to you guys in Q1 of next year, so soon, hopefully. We're fingers crossed. It's sitting with the FDA as we speak. But if you want, you can scan this QR code. We can keep you up to date with, any news and when we are finally approved. And we look forward to hopefully learning more from all of you and learning more about what your needs are so that we can try to help support you in your journey as we both continue to come up with new medicines and novel products. And thanks for being here and thanks for having me.
Next is going to be Chiesi. He's going to come up and tell us a little bit about their company.
Awesome, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jill, for once again putting on an amazing meeting. My name is Lori. I am the manager of patient advocacy at Chiesi. And next week is actually 2 years that I've been at Chiesi, which also means it's been 2 years since my first acromegaly community meeting, where I learned so much. So Jill, the value of these meetings, I cannot, state enough. It's incredible what you're doing for the community. So thank you. And thank you for giving the companies a few minutes to chat. I'd like to start by introducing Chiesi. In case you're not familiar, Chiesi is actually a family business that was founded in Parma, Italy in 1935 by Giacomo Chiesi, and today the grandson of the founder is the head of the rare disease business unit. Chiesi is also a certified, a B Corp certified company, which means that we keep high standards of social and environmental practices. So essentially what that means is that B Corp certified companies like Chiesi believe in using business as a force for good. And I mentioned the rare disease business unit, which is of course why we're all here today, as acromegaly is a rare disease. We cover 11 different diseases within the rare disease business unit, but the entirety of Chiesi is much larger. We have AIR for respiratory disorders, and care, critical care and neonatal intensive care products as well. The rare disease business unit was started 5 years ago and has been growing ever since. Chiesi acquired Amryt in 2023, which is a Dublin, Ireland-based company. And with that came a few new business areas to the rare unit. One of them was acromegaly. And so the product, Mycapssa, is what Chiesi now owns. And this summer actually marks 5 years since Mycapssa's approval. So my team, Ramel, we have some fun little giveaways over at our booth, so feel free to stop by during any of the breaks. And Chiesi's vision for advocacy is that your voice shapes who we are. So we learn so much from listening to people living with rare conditions. We keep our overarching vision simple, which is that when a disease is rare, listening shouldn't be. And so we get, like I said, so much out of these meetings, not just from the physicians who are experts in treating, but also from the questions that you all ask and the conversations that we have. So thank you all for being here. My teammate Lisa, who unfortunately could not be here, has been working very hard to put together some great webinars for patients and loved ones in our Rethink Acromegaly series. So you can scan that QR code to head to the website. But my favorite one so far, I think, has been the mental health webinar. So May was Mental Health Awareness Month, if you are not aware. So Jonathan, I don't know if he's in the room, but Jonathan and Catherine, who I'm sure you all know, or will get to know over the course of the day, were speakers in that webinar, and we shared some of the results of our mental health survey that we put out in the first quarter of this year, which we received over 200 responses. So it's a really great insight into the lived experience of people with acromegaly and how that affects their mental health. And then I will always find a reason to use this photo of Jonathan because it's awesome. And then, of course, anytime we mention an FDA-approved product, we are required to show you the safety information. And for full prescribing and safety information, feel free to stop by our booth. Thank you.
Next, we will have Crinetics. Just 1 second.
Real fast, do I push that guy? Okay. Awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
I'm Stephanie Callie, and Director of Patient Advocacy at Crinetics Pharmaceuticals. And I just want to echo kind of what Lori said, is that, first of all, just amazing. Who in this room, it's your first acromegaly community meeting or live education meeting? That's amazing. And yeah, congrats to you. Let's have a round of applause. Oh, sorry, I'm not very good at standing in one place. I think it's huge to be getting education. And so this is kind of your first step, right? If you're here and meeting other people that are living with acromegaly, and just learning, you're empowering yourself. And so kudos to you. Kudos to Jill for setting that up and creating that opportunity to just gain more knowledge about your condition, what you're living with, and then the next steps. Oh goodness, actually, sorry, I forgot something. But the next steps is, what do you do with that education? And that is a really key component of here. You're taking information in and then deciding what you want to do with it and moving along. Today, I'm going to share a little information with you about Crinetics Pharmaceuticals and what we're doing. I know that with our organization, we're based in San Diego, and we've been a drug development company. And it is really, everything we're doing is about and for patients. Really we're an endocrine-based company, and so really trying to create medications that will transform patients' lives. We have here a quote from our CEO who it is kind of one of the things, the credos that we live by, is that we're creating medications as if they're for a family member, somebody that you love. And that is how we work within the entire organization, from chemistry and the biology labs, creating medications, all the way to hopefully where it comes to fruition and has the opportunity to be taken by a patient. At Crinetics, we believe in the patient voice and really enacting what is called patient-focused drug development. Everything along the way, from the very beginning, inception, can we work in this space? Is there a need for a new therapy or medication? We look to the experts at that, and that is experts living with the condition. So reaching out to patients. We have several different ways that we go about this, whether it's through an advisory board or something we have called patient leadership councils, where we look to those individuals who have day-to-day experience to gain insight in how we develop those new therapies, how they'll be taken, how we design clinical studies to evaluate whether a medication works or not. And that is so important to us, because we may have scientists who can create a medication, but it's really listening to those that are living with it to see, is it going to make a difference? With that, the one medication that might be most appropriate for those in the room, the investigational medication that we have been looking at, is called paltusotine. And we, to date, have finished phase 2 and phase 3 studies. There's still an open label extension that is going on right now. And want to really acknowledge, we had over 235 patients that contributed to that research. And I know that Dr. Kuzmano talked about, to the talk before here, about opportunities to further research, to participate. And I just want to give a plug there. This is how new therapies come into existence. And so it is just so important. And I want to, and participating in a clinical study, it's a big decision. And so one that you don't take lightly. You talk to your family, you talk to your doctor, and that's a huge commitment that these participants have made to further treatments in this space. So over 235 patients living with acromegaly participated in our trials in 18 countries. And we hope to have information very soon, within the next month or so, to whether the FDA, this is sitting with the FDA right now, and for approval, that you would have paltusotine available. I want to share a couple of different resources that we have created for individuals living with acromegaly. And we have, if you have a chance, please come visit our tables that are outside. And then we're hosting a reception later on tonight, and we'll have more information about these. But the first is Crineticare, and Crineticare is our patient services that was developed by listening to patients. When we had a lot of conversations about what do you need from patient services? What would be helpful to you? So we have designed a resource that provides nurses there where you can call and ask questions. We'll have, information about finding physicians, answering questions about acromegaly, available resources and other patient programs that will be more to come later on, but really have designed this whole host of services from what patients shared with us that they really wanted. And the whole point, first, we have educate, engage, and empower. Step one, you guys are doing it. You're getting education. And then and I want to encourage you, engage with each other. You're meeting other people that are living with acromegaly that may have experienced the same things that you have, and that really empowers you to continue to live your best life. The other resource that we have is Acromegaly Reality, and that is a website. And that has acromegaly information, stories of patients, of individuals that are living with acromegaly, 3 amazing individuals, one of which might actually be in this room right now. You guys can find him. But they're living of their experiences, what their journey has been, what their journey still is living with acromegaly. And there's a lot of different resources and tools there, one of which I know those that are living with acromegaly, we talk about biochemical control, but also symptom control. What do you feel? What do you experience? And so there are some different opportunities for you to, again, educate yourself, learn more, and be empowered to have conversations, understand your own condition a little better. This QR code, if you scan that, it's an opportunity to take what we call the acromegaly reality check. And that is for you a way to self-assess. How are you managing your acromegaly? What's working well for you? What's not? So it's a really quick, simple little test to go through so that you have some information to start with. Lastly, you're invited. You're invited tonight. So right after this meeting today at 4, just a couple doors down, we have a reception that we'd love for you to come, bringing Acromegaly Reality, the website, to life. And so there's a couple of different fun stations that you can go to and just have that opportunity. You've had education, but also then to connect and engage with each other. And we'd love to visit with you and just relax and kind of take everything that you've learned today and be able to talk about it with everybody else. One thing, so if you'll visit our Crinetics table, I have a little card for you there, and it is an invitation. Oh, good, you brought one. Thank you. So this is an invitation. See, there's Ellen up there. On the back is in this white space is kind of a call to action. We'd love for you to write down today as you're listening to all the different conversations and talks, to what are you going to do with the information you learned today? Just one thing. If there's one thing that really resonates with you, hey, I want to learn more about this, or I'm going to go get this test, or I'm going to talk to somebody else about acromegaly, something else. I'm going to share information. Just write that in that space. And then when you come to our reception and turn this in, we have a little something for you. So thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you being here.
I know. There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So before we get started, Eric, am I good this time? I think the last time I was speaking, I was struggling, I guess, to reach the microphone. So I just want to make sure we're good to go? All right, all right. So not only is this a holding slide, it's the only slide. So even though Stephanie was like, I have the clicker, I'm like, I don't need that, my friend. I'm good to go. But what I do want you guys to take away is we are Recordati Rare Diseases. There's a few colleagues in the room with me today. And before I start telling you a little bit about the company, I want to make sure to thank Jill and all of you for coming out today. Also, a little special shout out to Laura, who, if you get a chance this afternoon at noontime to go to the next room, she'll be giving some information that's important for patients to know who have acromegaly. So a little bit about Recordati Rare Diseases. Recordati is a company, a global company that started in Italy in the 1920s. And it definitely has expanded. It's a global company. I work in the rare disease space and the rare disease unit in the endocrinology space, and we provide medicines for patients that suffer from acromegaly, but as well Cushing's. But more important than what the company offers, and I think that's critically important, right, because it helps patients, I think it's really important for you guys to get an understanding of who we are. I think last night I described us as unapologetically authentic. I guess we're pretty simple, right, because I don't have very many slides. But it's really important that you understand that in our company, we work tirelessly to put the patients at the focus of what we do. And I mean tirelessly, like sometimes we don't sleep very much at night, but it's the kind of heart we put into what we do every day. And it's important for you guys to know that officially we do have resources as well. Probably the biggest one I want to point out for patients is if you are on a medication made by Recordati Rare Diseases, which is, again, one for acromegaly, but also one for Cushing's, you have the opportunity to opt in and speak to a patient liaison. And a patient liaison doesn't just provide support, that is the person that can become your lifelong partner. So I'd love for you guys to come out, visit our table outside. We have both information about Signifor, but we also have an unbranded campaign called Acromegaly Answers, and you can learn a little bit about that. And then you can also meet patient liaison, stand up, my friend, Nanette Bradley, and just spending a couple minutes with her, not to talk about your diseases necessarily, but just to get to know somebody that's always going to be there to support you along the way. To me, that's truly the difference that we make for patients. We work very hard to put the patient at the heart of everything we do. So with one simple slide, I think that's all I got. And again, thank you, Jill, and everyone for your time today. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Saleh Khan. I'm the U.S. Medical Director for Endocrinology Rare Disease at Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Elena Christofidis. I'm a private practice clinician in Columbus, Ohio. Today, we're going to be talking about living with acromegaly and managing symptoms. We'll also discuss the importance of speaking with your doctor as you continue to make decisions together about potential treatment options.
Whether you or a loved one has been recently diagnosed or living with acromegaly for some time, making decisions about how to best manage symptoms, treatment options, and lifestyle changes can be challenging to do all by yourself. It takes a team of support.
Fortunately for those living with this rare disease, you are not alone. According to a study published in Endocrine Practice, the number of people living with acromegaly is about 4 times higher than previously thought. Thanks to improved diagnostic tools, overall awareness, and the impact of social media, communication and support within the acromegaly community is more accessible than ever before.
Let's talk about the importance of managing symptoms, which is a huge part of living with acromegaly. First, I want to discuss how both patients and doctors track these symptoms over time. Second, when you should be asking your doctor questions about managing symptoms. And finally, as these symptoms change, how they may influence not only the decisions about managing your acromegaly, but how they may impact changes to your lifestyle. So first off, tracking symptoms. As you may know already, acromegaly symptoms can change over time. They may even fluctuate if you are taking treatment for acromegaly. This is just one of the reasons why it's so important to track and share symptoms with your doctor. Understanding how symptoms affect your body and your daily life can help you and your doctor have more meaningful conversations about managing acromegaly.
That's right. And there are many kinds of treatments available. Your doctor can help you better understand which treatments may be most appropriate for you, depending on your symptoms, your disease progression, and your clinical findings.
Thank you. And when you say clinical findings, what do you mean?
Well, things like blood work, specifically to check insulin-like growth factor levels, also known as IGF-1 levels. As we know, in someone with acromegaly, if the body is producing too much growth hormone, then this will lead to elevated IGF-1 levels. And that can create changes to the body and may worsen the signs and symptoms of acromegaly. Also, MRIs or CT scans, echocardiograms that measure heart health, blood pressure checks, glucose monitoring, etc. All of these tests paint a detailed picture about where you are in your acromegaly journey, and they really help your doctor make a more informed decision about what to do next.
I agree. And I think it's also important to discuss our second point we mentioned earlier, which is asking questions.
The more questions you ask your doctor, the more you'll understand what goes into making these decisions and why your doctor may be recommending them.
So then, what would you say are some of the topics that someone with acromegaly should be asking their doctor about, whether they are on treatment or not?
Great question. I think number one, where are my IGF-1 levels at and what does it mean? What is the importance of growth hormone levels as well? How often should I be getting this blood work to test these levels? And if you're currently taking medication, I'd ask, should there be any changes to my dosage? Am I taking the right medication for where my IGF-1 levels are at and what my symptoms are? Things like that.
And when exactly should someone with acromegaly be talking with and asking questions of their doctor?
I think at every visit, but part of that involves doing research ahead of time, looking things up online, at reputable websites that serve the acromegaly community, and monitoring how you are feeling and what symptoms you may be having.
There are some great free apps such as AcroTracker where you can keep track of your symptoms and share them with your doctor. With the AcroTracker app, you can also learn about a potential treatment option. Being prepared for your doctor visit can be very beneficial.
Especially if you are currently taking an acromegaly treatment, you should be asking your doctor what determines how often you will continue to be monitored through lab tests and other health checks. These can help you to better manage symptoms, potentially minimize disease risk, and ensure that your treatment is working properly. And I want to say, if you are improving while taking treatment, but especially if you are still experiencing symptoms or side effects while on treatment, it is crucial to never discontinue or make dosage changes before talking to your doctor. Why? Because symptoms may worsen and become more severe over time if you stop taking treatment.
Great point. And as you can see, these questions and decisions will need to be addressed over time with your doctor. Which brings us to our third point. Beyond any clinical concerns, what are potential lifestyle changes you may encounter? You may wonder, what can I still do or what should I be more careful about in terms of day-to-day activities, hobbies, and traveling? For instance, can I still play tennis? If I like to walk, how often should or can I do that? And specific to traveling, depending on one's treatment, they may need to pack or refrigerate their medication. There are different requirements for different medications, and these should be discussed with your doctor.
That's so important, yes. Also, mental health. Living with acromegaly can bring on a lot of emotions, including stress and confusion, as one learns to manage the signs and symptoms and juggle everything. It can be easy to forget how important paying attention to yourself and your mental well-being is. There are so many places to find support online and within the acromegaly community these days, it can make a huge difference.
There are some wonderful pamphlets called the Acroline series that provides tips and insights on tracking your well-being. They are available at togetherforacromegaly.com.
And beyond your doctor and the decisions you will make together, there are other individuals and groups that can help you as you continue to manage the signs and symptoms of acromegaly. Family, friends, caregivers, mental health professionals, and of course the acromegaly communities and support available online.
Thank you, Dr. Christofides, for joining us. And thank you so much for joining us for this discussion on living with acromegaly. We encourage you to continue seeking support from your friends and loved ones, along with patient advocacy groups such as Acromegaly Community or Pituitary Network Association. Please remember to talk with your doctor when tracking your symptoms and managing decisions about potential surgeries, treatment options, and lifestyle changes. Again, you can learn more about managing acromegaly at togetherwithacromegaly.com. Thank you for watching.